Now, the Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Mr. Velenkosini Hlabisa, is currently convening a national convention of the Khoi-San leaders to discuss and also find permanent solutions to challenges that they have raised, including their recognition. For more on this, let's now cross live to SABC News reporter Samkele Maseko, who's following those developments for us. Samkele, good to have you with us. So talk to us about the main objective of today's event, which of course ties into the recent event of the eviction of the Khoi-San leadership at the union buildings in the fight for this very same cause, the recognition and preservation of their rights. What's on the agenda? I also understand you have the minister there with you.
Indeed, Alicia, the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs is trying to unite the Khoi-San community to speak with one voice. Previously, they've been divided, fragmented, speaking in different corners of their own. The department is now trying to bring them together to speak with one voice. Successive administrations have tried to unite this particular segment of society, which is the Khoi-San. They've not yet been successful. We will see whether the Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, working with his deputy ministers and the Portfolio Committee in Parliament, will be successful in trying to unite this particular sector of society. Minister Hlabisa, just the importance of engaging with the various groupings of the Khoi-San community. How far are you with this particular engagement? You did touch on the issue that there will be no elections, there will be no lobbying. It will be on general consensus that they will come together and speak as one voice.
Thank you very much. Let me firstly say a happy Valentine's Day to the people of South Africa, especially our ladies, our mothers, the female people who are the custodians of love. Today, we are holding this an all-inclusive national convention of the Khoi-San community leaders. This is a historical event, first of its kind, where we are engaging directly with leaders of all 5 stems of the Khoi-San community in South Africa. As you rightly indicated, we are not much interested in getting a new elected structure. This is a consultation process. But what we want to emerge with on Sunday is to have a one-voice structure for the Khoi-San. It can either be through consensus or whatever way in which they can find a common ground. We ran away from making an elective conference because people can bring people in numbers who will not concentrate on substance except electing the structure. So far the discussion is very good. The Khoi-San the representatives are on the platform as I'm speaking, relating their issues and how the government is going to respond. I am confident that out of our collective effort as the ministry and the portfolio, we are going to make a breakthrough that the Khoi-San to be part of the process is one, TICLA. That is the law, the act that will recognize the Khoi-San for the first time to have a role to play through the TICLA Act, which is a process that is open for consultation until it is made a law once again somewhere in the month of June or July this year. And secondly, this engagement must ensure that there is the full participation of the Khoi-San in the Commission on Khoi-San Matters. That commission is responsible for the proper recognition of the chiefs, the kings, their majesties amongst the Khoi-San, because the commission is going to be the one where they will present their stories, their issues, their history, until there is an official recognition who is an Inkosi or Khosi or a chief, whatever language they choose to use, and who is a king amongst the Khoi-San following their lineage. If they don't participate in these structures, they won't have a full recognition as a legitimate community in South Africa. The spirit is good. It was very hot in the morning. Obviously, if it is a first meeting of this kind, as you know, the Khoi-San were the most people in South Africa who experienced genocide to a point of extinction. And thanks God, this community is still alive and existing today. As the government of national unity, we want to make a breakthrough so that the Khoi-San community have their rights and privileges fully recognized under a democratic government. Yes, after 30 years, but it is never late in life when things are done correctly.
What are some of the main divergent views that they have amongst themselves? I saw earlier on there was some fracas and friction amongst the 5 stems that are currently here. What are some of their main bones of contention amongst one another?
You see, as the Khoi-San has been a divided society for many decades, they don't recognize each other in terms of who is their leader. They have 5 stems, and each stem is also subdivided into many groups. That is why, therefore, there were some disagreement in the beginning, because some say you do not represent us, but I think we have crossed that bridge. That today, let us use this opportunity to find one voice that is eventually collect the history of the Khoi-San and also ensure who should be the voice of the Khoi-San community. I'm confident we are going to achieve that goal by the time when we finish on Wednesday, and we will start to ensure that the Khoi-San become part of the TICLA process in terms of ensuring that this law recognized fully. Because, you know, we speak of the National House of traditional and Khoi-San leaders. Khoi-San are not there. They are only there by name. This is the process which will ensure that at the local houses, provincial houses, and the national house, the Khoi-San will be represented by warm bodies who will have been recognized through the law and make part and become part of the contribution in issues of developing South Africa.
Minister, on another separate issue, I know we're out of time, but on the spaza shops issue and the regulations, how far are you with trying to regulate the spaza shops that was gazetted by government? How far are you on that particular process? And what roadshow will you be embarking on to make sure that many of the spaza shops across the country are properly registered?
The process is well underway. From Monday next week, we will be starting a countdown to 28 February, calling all people of South Africa who wants to register as spaza shop owners or other food handling outlets to meet the deadlines so that the government can start to roll out the $500 million that was made available to support the people who will be running spaza shops and other food handling outlets. I want to make a call. It will be difficult to have another extension. This was enough time to ensure that those who have an interest, they do what is necessary. Therefore, the remaining period from now up to end of February is time for everyone to ensure that he or she registers. And we are going to be embarking on a process of finalizing the recruitment of the health inspectors, the Department of Health under Dr. Mswaleri, the team of the experts that was appointed last year has a report now. If not next week, the following week, before the end of the month of February, we will be meeting as the Interministerial Committee to consider the guidelines into how to make the spaza shop and other food handling items not to bring us back to the unfortunate instances that happened last year where we saw our children dying having bought food from the spaza shop. We want to call upon all the owners of the spaza shop, do what is right. Whatever operations you are doing, sell proper items. All the products that are stale or fake should not be found within your shelves, because your property or your spaza shop will be closed down and you won't be able to operate. The right thing that you must do, buy and sell what is right from credible and authentic wholesales in South Africa than buying from fake warehouse that sell illicit goods or expired goods.
In 30 seconds, Bulawayo, there will be no other extension except this particular one that we're currently on.
It will be difficult to have another extension. The time the president allowed on our request was sufficient for everyone to register. Everybody must do what is right now. Then to come after the 28th and say they want an extension, it will really be difficult.
Thank you very much, Minister Velenkosini Hlabisa, the Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. They're trying to unite the Khoi and San community, but also speaking on the issues relating to spaza shop ownerships that have seen a number of children dying due to goods that are not meant to be sold to children being sold, and also those toxins that are not meant to be in public goods being there in those particular spaza shops.